Watch the award-winning Urban Latino, celebrating the culture, the music, and the lifestyle. For exact days and times in your city, log on to urbanlatinotv.com or check your local listings.
Who's in the house?
My Latino people.
Who's in the house?
It's Urban Latino.
Who's in the house?
My Latino people.
Who's in the house?
It's Urban Latino.
Capturing the culture, the movement, Urban Latino.
The Urban Latino movement is everywhere. It's the story of a people on the move, and their stories are as diverse as the people themselves. From college campuses to design shops to music studios, Urban Latinos are making the most in their pursuit of the American dream. From the award-winning producers of Urban Latino TV, we give you an inspirational look at just some of the people who are making it happen as they pursue the American dream. Journey with us as we capture the culture and the movement of Urban Latinos.
My name is Patricia Aguirre. I was born and raised in LA. I'm a graduating senior at UCLA with the major in Chicano Studies, and a Policy Studies minor. Oh, I'm also a mother. I have a beautiful 7-year-old daughter. She's my pride and my motivation, and I love her.
I'm Abraham Velasquez Jr., and I was raised in the Bronx. My major is communications with a concentration in graphic communications. NYU was just the best choice for me because it wasn't too far away from home. I could always be home and keep that city life.
Started off as a community college student and then transferred here to UCLA. It's a route that a lot of Latinos take, you know, graduating from high school and then not being really prepared because you haven't been prepared to pursue higher education at a big university. Like my family, I don't think they understand like the struggles that come with being here or like just to get into this university.
My parents are both from Santiago and La Capital, Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. It was always like embedded in us that we had to go to school and try to make a better life for us. I'm on scholarships and all this, and like I'm still struggling to pay with financial aid, you know, and like it is a struggle, you know, and it's hard work to go to school, go to work at the same time and try to pay everything off.
Balancing time is a challenge, a big challenge. I'm always running around. I, had to take my daughter to a babysitter. I had to run to school early in the morning, and I had to then run back home, pick up my daughter, feed her, then take her back to a babysitter, and then I go to work, which is really, really far away from me. I mean, it was just a real hassle. But I always try to set time for those things that I think are important, like my family's first overall. Spending time with my daughter is my priority. My husband is very supportive and very helpful. A lot of the reasons why I'm here, it's because of my family, because they're very supportive.
She will stay up late and come home late from school. I understood that that's what it took for her to be able to graduate. It was hard, but we made it work.
Normal day usually consists of me waking up at like 6:30 in the morning to get on the train, and usually I miss the train because it's always either packed or there's always some problem on the train. It's about like an hour to get here. After that, like I start the normal day, go to the library, pick up some books. This is my little wall here. This kind of describes a lot of who I am and who influenced me a lot, and some of that is common sense, most stuff, KRS-One. A big part of that I like so much about these rappers is education, and I think through education and knowledge you can find the truth. I think that through rap and poetry, like I found a lot about myself, and I try to reach out to people. Fulfilling a man's dream whose goal initially was to make those the color of his initials believe. Because if we don't believe, then there won't be life. And if there won't be life, then we're stuck in the matrix, right? Recently, like I definitely see a lot more Latinos and Black and a lot of people of color in school, and I think it's a great thing. Like I'm really happy like when I see my friends, making it and saying, oh, we're going to school and we're doing this.
I have a very solid and strong network of friends, Latina friends that are here at UCLA, and they're what make, I guess, every day possible.
After graduation, I plan to just get a job in the communication business, but on top of that, I want to pursue my musical career. I think that my true passion is just reaching out to people and try to make that difference in them.
After I graduate, I'm going to take a year off and prepare for the LSATs and then apply to law school. Or maybe a joint degree, a law degree and a public policy. So I think that would be like ideal, like combining the two. And then being out there and representing my people.
Incorporated. While fraternities and sororities are nothing new to college life, there has been an increase in the number of Latino-oriented fraternal organizations. In 1931, a group of students formed Phi Iota Alpha as a way to unify the growing Latino student population. It was the first Latin fraternal organization in the U.S. Today, there are over 70 Latin fraternal organizations in existence.
I pledged Phi Iota Alpha in 1991, and I was one of the founding fathers in the ETA chapter. The concept of a fraternity was not too familiar to me. The concept of joining hands with a group of other Latinos sort of stimulated me.
My name is Diana Romaguera. I'm a sister of Lambda Alpha Latin Sorority Incorporated, and we were the first Latin sorority in the nation, founded in 1975. I guess I can say from the first day that I walked into the room, I felt completely comfortable. The girls in the room, kiss on the cheeks. I felt very at home. My sorority is very much my family away from home. It's definitely a perfect support group.
It's just another way to get in contact with your culture, another way to get in contact with people that are similar to you. And also it's a good outlet to do community service, to organize events, to be a leader.
We're the brothers of Lambda Sigma Upsilon.
LSU step.
Latino Greek associations distinguish themselves a number of ways.
Every organization has a chant, a call, hand sign.
It's in my heart, yeah, it's in my soul, yeah, I love my black, my green, and my radiant gold.
That's just a way to identify ourselves with the public.
Hi, we're the Sisters of Omega Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
Beta! One of the things that sets Greeks aside is they step. Ay, Dios mío.
LatinoSteps.com is a website dedicated to promoting Latino Greek stepping and is one of the main producers of national step team shows.
Latino Greek stepping in general is very, very new. Basically consists of, synchronized stepping, choreography, vocalization, uses of your hands, your feet to create beats, and on a hardwood floor. And historically, some people trace stepping back to the African American days of slavery.
By empowering Latino students, these Greek organizations are helping instill the confidence they need to succeed in college and beyond.
The major reason that most people join fraternities and sororities are definitely to gain that sense of family that will help them succeed while they're away from home. A lot of students come to me later and say, if it wasn't for my sorority, I wouldn't be here. Or if it wasn't for my fraternity, I wouldn't have stayed here.
We're here in Miami. I was watching Urban Latino on a Sunday, and it catch my attention because it said spring break in Miami, Florida. So I said, okay, well let me go to the internet and let me try it. And then I was sweet and simple about why Toyota Matrix is so cool. I won the contest and I was just shocked. But I was excited and I made sure I was gonna bring my friends.
I'm ready to get to the hotel and go meet and go party. That's what I'm trying to do.
I'm from Inglewood, California.
I live in Los Angeles, but I'm an Inglewood girl. For us to come out to Miami is something nice, it's something different, and we get to experience that, and that's what I need. I need exposure to be out, get to meet different people. Yeah, ghetto fabulous. That's what we are, ghetto fabulous. I've never been nowhere as far as Texas or, Sacramento, San Francisco. This is beautiful. This is Miami. I dreamed about this.
Why, Urban Latino, you're the best.
Oh, hell no. We're not ready. We're not ready yet.
We're gonna go eat lunch and walk around Miami. We gotta get ready. Bye. The best thing I like about Miami?
I like the bars and the clubs, the ocean, people, the sun.
It's our lowrider in Miami. In LA, we got it like a 64 Impala, but in Miami, this is our lowrider. The difference between Miami and LA is that we're into the little Manolo boots, the airbrush tops, sunglasses. I don't know, it's kind of different. I mean, everywhere is beautiful, but I think LA is the best because I'm from LA. opportunity to go to college and be the best that I can. I'm gonna take advantage of the opportunity. I hope I become either Mayor Inglewood or an actress. You know, be kind of like the Mexican J-Lo. Thank you, Toyota Matrix, because you took us around the city of Miami. And hi, Mommy. Thanks, Miami.
What's up?
I had fun.
Mama Mexico is one of New York's finest and most popular Mexican restaurants. The realization of one man's heartfelt wish to bring a taste of his country to America.
I come from Mexico. We're a very poor town, starting, from very low places. Dishwashers. And then I said to myself one day, I want to open my restaurant.
Today, the successful businessman owns not one, but 2 thriving Mama Mexico restaurants, famous for its mouth-watering home-style Mexican cooking.
We cook like a home, like a mommy cooks in a house. We have the guacamole make in front of you, Pancho Villa style with Mexican ingredients.
From the tasty cuisine to the art on the walls, there's no detail too small in Juan's desire to give customers a taste of Mexico. The restaurant features an authentic mural from famed Mexican muralist Diego Rivera, as well as traditional dancers. It's these special touches that make Mama Mexico an award-winning restaurant.
We have the 5-star award, the only Mexican restaurant in New York City. The atmosphere is more relaxed, romantic, Especially we have the garden outside, a live mariachi band every day. So we're teaching the kids, how's Mexico, teaching about culture, and this is what it's about.
Founded in 1989, Yak Pak is one of the nation's leading designers of urban-oriented bags. With trend-setting styles that combine fashion with durability, the New York-based company is credited with marketing some of the very first DJ bags. Rolando Cohen, a native of El Salvador, is one of the company's founders. Now, what does Yak Pak stand for?
Well, Yak Pak really was brought up by both my partner and I. He was traveling in Tibet, and the yak is the actual national animal of Tibet. And the logo is actually the hoof, but the original concept came from the uniqueness of this environment. Yak Pak is very much about urban lifestyles. So we try to focus the bags so that they're specific to what people have. We'll have DJ bags, we'll have tag bags, we'll have laptop bags, we'll have messenger bags, we'll have all sorts of very nature-specific bags that gear to what people do in the city.
Out of all those different styles, what's your best seller?
In general, they sell mostly to women. It's a combination thing. You can go out clubbing, but it also fit a small laptop. That's really one of our best sellers. Our new Japanese fighting fish are also doing extremely well. And then for the guys, it's sort of the larger, either the DJ bag. That one sells very, very well. And our new sort of DJ crate is selling extremely well.
In addition to the Yak Pak brand, the company also designs, produces, and markets all the bags for both Dickies and Levi's.
We were sort of doing our own thing, putting it into the right stores, the Urban Outfitters, the small shops everywhere, and Dickies came to us. We basically asked them for the license and sort of worked it out, and then Levi's came around in '99. They saw what we were doing with Dickies, what we were doing with our stuff, and sort of made us the same offer, and so we got involved with them, and both have done extremely well for us.
Being that you guys are involved with Dickies and Levi's, how do you guys maintain the Yak Pak look?
Well, first of all, it's a religious pursuit to make it extremely different. Right. Because the minute that you try to put them together, then you've completely lost all authenticity. Right. So what we do is we have a head designer for Yak Pak, a head designer for Dickies, head designer for Levi's, and each one attaches to a specific trend that is going on, but doesn't cross over to the trends.
With the long-standing success of Yak Pak, the company has evolved from designing bags and are now branching off to musician bags, clothing, and footwear. What's next for Yak Pak?
Well, we have the footwear that we've been doing for about 6 or 9 months. It's been doing phenomenal in terms of press and advertising, placing it in the right stores. We have a license in Japan that is completely broad in all sorts of products. They have clothing, they have children's wear, they have watches, and we'll be bringing some of that down here. So it's sort of expanding and growing the line as long as it maintains within the true nature of what we originally intended it to be.
So you got Yak Pak the book bags, you got Yak Pak the sneakers, Yak Pak the watches, and Yak Pak is going to take over.
Derived from the Latin phrase "Quo vadis," or "Where are you going?", QV Magazine is a Latin male journal started by an ambitious group of LA-based Latinos who set out to create a magazine that reflected their lifestyle and culture.
At the time that we started QV, there really wasn't anything. There were gay magazines, which
focused on general gay life, which is great. There were Latino magazines, but you rarely saw anything about gay life in Latino magazines. What we did is we put together stories that specifically related to these people's lives to show them that there were other gay Latinos out there.
Today, QV Magazine is the nation's leading and most respected gay Latino publication, helping shine a positive light on a far too often neglected community.
And that's been the mission of QV Magazine since day one, is to show us in a different way. Actually, just to show us as regular people.
In the magazine, content-wise, you'll find a lot of different stories. We've shown gay Latinos who are parents themselves. We've had a grandfather. We've had a firefighter. We've had gay Latinos even serving in the military. We have celebrities in the magazine all the time. We had Paulina Rubio on the cover, can read the story and like, wow, this celebrity I really look up to, and they're saying something about, me, and they're positive about it. And that's empowering. One of the things about QV, it's done in such a way that it's tastefully done. Some people have even used it to even come out. They've told us they've left it on the coffee table, in their house, and a brother or his mom or dad has come and picked it up, and then it's kind of like a conversation starter to coming out.
Available at major retail bookstore chains across the nation, the bi-monthly publication is a proven success, especially among its large Latino readership.
It's just amazing to see the support that we've been getting from our readers across the country. It's been great. It's getting easier, a lot easier now. People are more receptive to the fact that there's gay people and there's gay Hispanics. So I can definitely say in the 5 years that we've been around that the doors are opening fast, a lot faster now, more than ever before.
Digital Aslan is a multimedia company founded by two young Latinos in California that arose out of a desire to provide an outlet for the rich Mexican Chicano culture.
The reason we started Digital Aslan, because at that time there wasn't any really computer companies dedicated to Latinos. So me and my partner, we just sat down and we created brownpride.com. We were from the streets, so we just took our lifestyle and put it onto the internet. There wasn't any sites dedicated to Latino hip hop. So we were like the first ones that started reviewing CDs, started interviewing artists, and that's what made us blow up, is actually like the Latin hip hop and the lowriding aspect of our website.
From music to murals, even tattoos, brownpride.com is the ultimate resource for all things Chicano. You can even log on here to get a crash course on Mexican history.
We started doing research and started educating our people about the great civilizations like the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Olmecs. If we're going to be entertaining, we have to educate too.
Apart from providing users with a dose of cultura, the site also offers its own exclusive line of urban gear.
So we just came out with stuff like people from our neighborhood can relate to, you know what I mean? Like Hecho Mexico, that's something that has like a lot of pride. Feed me is a slang word meaning that that's dope, you know what I mean? And people just relate to that. So we made a whole line out of it.
The company continues to expand, recently producing Pass the Mic, a documentary on the underground world of Latin hip hop, and an accompanying music compilation CD entitled The Olin Project.
There's so much more that we can do. I don't even think we have we scratched the surface. I did Brown Pride because I wanted to bring that street element, but make it so we're intelligent. And I wanted to tell stories of other people that were doing good things. We're kind of like ambassadors, of taking the real and giving it to other people so they can see what we're doing.
David Chattel is the co-founder and CEO of Latcom Communications, an interactive media and entertainment company that caters to the growing Latino youth market.
Latcom is a company that's made up of lots of little small companies. It actually started as just a website called icaramba.com, which was like an online community for young Latinos, and also the official fan website for our partner John Leguizamo. The reason the whole site started in the first place is because there's really not a lot of, I'll say, relevant online entertainment or any kind of entertainment for the young bicultural, bilingual Latinos in this country. Essentially, it's like an entertainment site. Really, that's people come to have fun and meet other Latinos and Latinas like themselves.
There's virtually no end to the fun and games you'll find on icaramba.com. The website even features an original animated Latino cartoon series.
We offer something we call webisodes, or like little animated shorts of a show that we created called La Familia, soon to be called Lugar Heights.
Hey, what's poppin', mama? Yo, you gotta check out this new reality dating show called Adios Papi. It's off the hook, girl.
This young group of Latinos hanging out, basically just going through life.
Girl, I saw off all those shows after Temptation Barrio got canceled.
Latcom is also home to LatinoStep.com and LatinoGreeks.com. two websites specifically aimed at Latino college students.
Latinologues.com is a resource, information, entertainment, online community for all things that are Latino and Greek. The site also has probably one of the most extensive Greek directory of Latino and multicultural organizations.
Outside of being the largest producer of national Latino college events and step shows, LatCom also publishes University Latino magazine. It's all part of the company's growing efforts to reach what they consider an underserved audience.
We'd like to fill what I call the young Latino media and entertainment void that exists through our networks of people that we group together to help, I'll say, champion this cause. We definitely want more people to recognize the viability of this, what we do, and support us.
Launched in 2000 with a couple of $1,000s, Zalia International has grown from 2 employees to 7, doubled its annual sales, and it's now carried in over 50 salons across the U.S.
Being Latina, I felt that there wasn't really too much makeup that I could really wear comfortably. I felt that I was always trying to mix and match different companies, so trying to get the right foundation for my skin tone. So that was one of the major reasons. My education, I would say, was important in achieving my goals. I felt that through college, I was able to learn the business aspect of how to start everything. It wasn't like an overnight process. It's definitely been a long process, but it's been a great one. We started first with just trying to get a name and the products together, and that's basically the main thing that was started. And through that, there's been 1,000 other steps that were done in between. Financially, I think we're finally just really getting off the ground. I think we've been fortunate because we have a great team. Growing up, my family life, we were very tight. My sister and my brother were very close. My parents, they're great. They are so proud. And to this day, they're my walking advertisement. Wherever they go, they're dropping off Zalia cards to let people know that the company exists.
This 29-year-old has been featured as an entrepreneur to watch in several magazines and local newspapers.
I wanted Zalia to be just more than just a cosmetic company. I wanted it to be almost a way of life. Beauty that radiates from within starts with a sense of belonging. Originally, when I first started to put things together, actually a few people would say, so many cosmetic companies out there, how are you going to compete? And that's not even how I looked at it. I felt that I believed in myself, and I believed that I could do this, and I believed I could go all the way with it, and I wasn't going to let anything stop me. If it didn't work out, then I would find something else. But I was going to give it a shot. And I feel that if in your heart you think that there's something out there that you can do and you can accomplish, then just do it. Don't let anything or anyone stand in your way. Without a doubt, just go for it. Life is too short. You never know what's going to happen, and you got to take chances.
I'm Cecilia de Bocourt, and I'm from Argentina. I'm a designer.
My name is Rafael Jimenez, and I am the founder of Republica Trading Company.
My line consists mostly in dresses, skirts, and tops for women between ages of, I would say, 15 and 40.
Some of our most popular items are t-shirts and hats, which have always been the Republica staples. We've evolved into like a full collection just for men.
I have always a rule. It has to look feminine when you move, and it has to be flowy. There's a lot of detail-oriented, like a lot of hand cut and painted and tie-dye. It's almost like a basic dancing line that I have.
We're influenced by Latin culture first and foremost. We've got a little bit of an urban influence. So you can find guayaberas in our line, and you can find perforated lambskin jackets like the one that I'm wearing right now. We have a little bit of everything.
I always wanted to do something on my own instead of working for someone else. And then I said, oh my God, I like this. I like to be behind the camera. So then is when I decided to go to FIT. I think like a month after I started school, I started my line. In Argentina, like in Latin America, we are very used to knit and do things with our hands since very early age. Actually, how I started is knitting, like making scarves, everything I could do by myself with my hands, little by little, without even really paying attention. I started making clothes to be able to dance.
My parents always managed businesses, so I was always around that, and I knew that I one day would want to work for myself. I just had no idea that this was going to be it. Basically, I had a friend who was a silk screener, so she made a dozen t-shirts for me. And I put 11 in a knapsack, and I put one in a hanger, and I started walking around my neighborhood, and I sold a dozen t-shirts in 20 minutes for $20 a shirt. I invested it into a Spanish dictionary. Finally, I got to R, and I came across the word República. I'm really proud to be, you know, Dominican American, and I kind of embrace both. Somebody mentioned to me, I was like, oh wow, yeah, they call Santo Domingo La República. I wish that would have been, because it would have been easier. It would have saved me $40 on a dictionary. And then we started doing sweatshirts, and then we started doing hats, and then we dropped the catalog, and then we dropped the website.
When I started my dream, I said to myself, okay, what's your dream, Cecilia? Where do you want to sell? And it was Barney's. Just called them for like 3 months. Almost every day. I just got them to call me back at the end. And now they're my biggest client, I would say, and they keep on ordering and ordering. And from there, of course, I went to smaller stores, like in Soho, and even Miami, LA, Chicago, San Francisco. So I sell in all these like trendy spots. We
were at the airport, and there was this girl sitting across from us. And it turns out that she was an assistant buyer for Federated, which owns Bloomingdale's. One person led me to one person who led me to another person. They came and saw the stuff, and they fell in love with our tees, and they fell in love with our graffiti caps, which are all hand art. After the first week, they were almost sold out. And now we're trying to get to another level, and slowly but surely we are.
What I'm trying to get is like people, one day if I get like bigger and known, that they see a garment and say, oh, that is so Cecilia de Bucor, you know?
The next step, I think, in the next year or two will probably be a women's line.
My advice for young Latino designers is just go for it, do it, don't be scared.
Follow through, be professional, and you know, and do it 100%.
So, you know, never give up, that's it.
She's the rebel designer of the fashion world. With her signature ripped tops and her unsewn garments, Elisa Jimenez has been making her own rules when it comes to couture. She started out as an artist working with marionettes and showed her work in downtown galleries.
She was always into the human form and figures, and it just kind of evolved into her doing something that other people could use. So, you know, what she does with her fashion, it's very, you know, it's for everyone, which I think is unique, and I think that that's where the art comes in.
In the process, she's caught the eye of fashion-minded stars such as Jennifer Lopez, Cameron Diaz, and Naomi Campbell.
Although you can buy her clothes at shops like this one, it's her unique way of working, designing clothes on the body for her clients, that's made her a favorite. I met with her in her Manhattan studio, and she made this dress for me.
What we're going to do first is I'll spritz your fabric, and I have a spritz right now that's for letting go of bad habits and healing in love. And then what I'll do is probably chat with you a little bit and spritz my hands. I do a little sort of measure you, hand measure you, and then I work on intuition. I'll just like drape the fabric, spit mark it, cut it, sew it, fit it, and then we'll see how it goes from there.
Well, great, let's go to it.
And we use my big needle, so don't be afraid of my big needle, because this is a doll maker's needle.
She spritzes the fabric, wraps it around my hips, and begins her process.
This is not the normal way that a designer works nowadays. I mean, it's...
Well, it is now.
Yeah?
I'm just kidding. No, it's definitely this approach to working, like 6 years ago when I started it, was not very popular and was not really heard of except for like couture. I mean, but I didn't know that because I have a master's of fine arts with a minor in classics, so I was very sort of classically art trained, and the making of the clothes came directly out of making clothes to perform in with the marionettes.
And is this something that you would also encourage people to just, you know, do on their own?
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I chose this particular type of piece to do with you today, was I was sort of hoping that, you know, if people saw, of all ages, you know, saw the simplicity of getting stretch fabrics, definitely, but that it's really responding to your body. It's a dialogue of how to like touch your body and work on your body and sew for yourself.
The rest is all cutting, tearing, and stretching. That's the way she works. It's the clothes that have to fit the body, not the other way around.
Very much about the body, beautiful, and I'm very much about that if you have skin on your body's perfect. So this is your little polymorphic top.
It can be worn a number of different ways, as she showed me that it's personality that should shine through.
Then that style really comes from yourself. It doesn't really, you know, you can pick and choose where you go with what you want to be, and that you should really play with the way you dress as a way of helping yourself grow. Not about being in trend or being in style, but about exploring who you are and who you'd like to be.
So this is the finished design. It's very sexy, and I feel just like you said, a goddess.
Which is exactly what she had in mind.
My goal is that I will make pieces for people that they feel so amazing and incredible in what they're wearing, that they are powerful even if they never leave the house.
And that confidence is keeping this Latina on the cutting edge of fashion. Colors, bold prints, and designs have cast Justo Barcelona apart from the pack when it comes to fashion.
Basically, our collections is all about graphic design applied in many different ways.
The brand, headed by two Spanish brothers, Justo and David Dalmau, has its roots deep in Latino culture.
I am Latino. I was born in Barcelona, and well, Barcelona is a very Mediterranean city, and for sure color is very important in all the Mediterranean. I travel all the time since I was a kid, and I think traveling very intensively is one of my biggest influence that reflects in the work. We started in 1980 with a very small collection of printed t-shirts, and in 1995 we decided to come to sell in the States, and well, basically the collections that we see today is the evolution of 22 years, and well, this is the result that we have today. The biggest thing is that we develop a complete collection for men. And regarding women, well, we expand into a big range of denim, jeans. This is a printed denim in rayon and cotton. We expand into leather. This dress is also very special. Leather combined with printed canvas. And also we start with a small but very special collection for coats. Here the material is cotton canvas printed and also leather. The messages can be about color, about happiness, about sensuality, about many things. Our project is a melting pot that in reality is the translation of the actual life into a garment.
What made you go into fashion?
I wanted to be an architect first, and I went to school in the Dominican Republic, but then I decided in the middle of it that I actually didn't want to be an architect, that I wanted to be a fashion designer. So I decided to come to New York, to go to Parsons.
This couture designer is well known for his constant use of exotic colors and fabrics. It was while designing for Oscar de la Renta, Tahari, and Bill Blass that he discovered the key elements to designing a successful line.
I learned that the product is very important, and then comes the styling and everything else that we want to do for the customer, which in the end is the most important thing.
Sully, what inspires you to design?
Anything. You know, it's like I take inspiration of everything. So it's, you know, the inspiration is very broad.
Take us through the process of creating a collection, for example.
Well, a collection starts with, for me, I think about what the theme of the collection I want it to be. Then I start looking for my inspiration for that theme. And I work with my fabrics and colors, which for me is very, very important. I'm very daring when it comes to color. I like a lot of color. I do use a lot of black, but color is it's very important. So, and then I go and look for fabrics, and then fabrics that apply to my colors, and fabrics that I like, and textures and prints and things. And then I start designing, you know, and in the middle of all of that, I do a little bit of sketchings, and so I do about 1,000 sketches per season. Wow. And then I reduce it to about 50. For any new Latino designer, or that somebody that wants to come out as a designer, is just focus on who you want to be, and who do you want to sell to, and who do you want to dress. That's very important before you start designing anything.
Colombian-born Irma Martinez is a respected name in the world of Latin entertainment. A renowned stylist and fashion expert, her client lists include many of today's biggest Latin stars. How did you get started?
Well, I always like
the fashion business. I started when I was going to school. I started working in boutiques and things like that. Then one celebrity was one of my customers.
Who's that?
That was Angela Carrasco. That was in 1989.
Now, Trendy Inc. is your company. Can you tell us a little bit more about Trendy Inc.?
It's a company that we style Latino celebrities main, but anybody, any client that wants to.
So if little old me, if Noemi walked into the shop and said, I want to go hang out. Of course, every lady wants a little sexy look, but I want to be comfortable. I think that's the main thing for me, just comfort. So can we look around and see if we can find something like
Let's
that?
see what we can find.
All right, let's go. Ta-da! Look at what I got in 5 minutes.
These pants are comfortable, are pretty, are dressy. And then I put a little touch of the 80s type of top with the big hoops that are very in style. We added some bracelets, some comfortable shoes, and she's ready to go have fun and be comfortable and dance all night.
The cocktail look. This is hot. This is
beautiful,
really
and sexy,
nice.
and comfortable.
And comfortable.
We put these beautiful dangling, sparkly earrings to dress it up.
And
a
this
beautiful
ring.
ring.
Look at that. All right, Irma, this is my casual, everyday, just chilling out look. And it's more for the summertime, am I correct?
Yes, we changed these accessories. We're gonna change into a fall outfit. The color is bright, but still it's a long sweater with the feather.
Which
so it's
is
kind of between summer and winter.
Right. Nice transitional outfit.
Exactly.
Cool. And it's comfortable.
There you
Yay!
go, your favorite.
In the fast-paced world of fashion, designers strive to set themselves apart. Mark Montano has achieved this with his bold, innovative designs, combining his love of art and color to transform the runway into a walking canvas.
Well, when I first decided to be a fashion designer, I was probably about 14 years old, and I was hanging out with my aunts who were always sewing these crazy outfits that they would see in magazines. So basically, I just learned how to sew from them. I think that my influences were my aunts because they were really style conscious. That and the Mexican culture, which is very colorful. I mean, I like to experiment, to use themes and use art and talk about women in history.
Past collections include The Women of the Met, which was inspired by Mark's favorite paintings. Another collection was based entirely on a TV character from his youth.
Recently, I did a collection called Laura Ingalls Wilder, and I remember growing up watching Little House on the Prairie and thinking, this Laura Ingalls girl is out of her mind. She's very strong, and she would be a perfect person to base a collection on. If I had to describe my own style, I would say that it is witty and fun and very colorful. When a woman wears one of my dresses, she is the belle of the ball. My Latino heritage plays every role in who I am as a person and everything that I create. Being Mexican American, it just enhances everything that I do. It sort of colors how I see the world in a very positive way.
Mexican-born Edward Lucero is one of LA's hottest Latino designers. A red carpet favorite, he's dressed some of Hollywood's biggest celebrities.
So what does, or if any, your Latin heritage influence your clothes?
It's not even just only being Latin, it's how you're Latin and how you've mixed it with all the American culture. Look at my clothing is, it definitely has a Latin flavor, but it has to definitely translate to any culture. Okay. Whether you're American, whether you're European.
So any woman can wear it.
Any woman can wear it. During the 90s and stuff like that, working in, designing clothes for Vegas, all of a sudden you see those things coming into the clothing that I do now. Things with nude lining so that it looks like you're not wearing anything underneath. That's all from designing Las Vegas showgirls. But actually we did a lot of black, which we normally don't do a lot of black because we do a lot of color. We're known for a lot of color.
You're known for a lot of color. So this season I was pretty surprised when I saw a lot of black, but I love it. I love it. It's sexy.
We're doing a lot of things with cutouts, a lot of low backs, a lot of transparent. This is what I was talking about. That whole Las Vegas influence. Really do a lot of long dresses, stuff like this. Short front, long back. I think more than anything, the women that inspire me are the real women. They don't have a stylist, a hair person, a makeup person, a lighting person. True. The most important thing is looking at them going, hey, what's going to bring out the most important part of you? What's going to make your personality stand out? But also, most importantly, what looks amazing on you?
Nestwear is an urban clothing company started by Jose Milan, an ambitious entrepreneur from Queens, New York.
Nest started out back 3 years ago, and since then, it's just been elevating nonstop.
And what does Nest mean?
Nothing ever stays the same. It came from promoting clubs, decided to do a logo, and came up with the name. We all just felt it, and since then, we've just been pushing it.
Jose put the logo on shirts, which sold in large quantities from his house. That led him to create his own clothing line that today includes jeans, kids wear, even clothes for women. With stores in Corona and Woodside, Queens, Nestwear's street-inspired designs are extremely popular with the younger, largely Latino clientele.
We have all the elements, all the street elements, everything that's us, dressing ourselves up, dressing you up, our Latin flavor.
You design your own thing, or you have somebody designing it?
We all participate in the designing, a lot of the artwork. We have one main artist, in-house artist, his name is Jose Nunez, also known as Cello. We have artists from all over, Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx.
Building upon the success of Nestwear, the savvy businessman continues to seek out new opportunities. He has expanded the clothing line, offering the higher-end Fame New York.
It's the upscale of the whole Nest thing.
And that's more for like dressy stuff, right?
Right.
Like go out to clubs, you want to get your jiggy on, you put on Fame. You want to hang out on the streets and just hang out with the boys and you put on the Nest.
We got you covered.
Jose has also opened up a barbershop next door to one of his stores. How convenient is it for you to have a barbershop right next to the clothing store?
Can't be more convenient than this. Right after they get their cut, next thing is they want a cap or to dress up. What they're gonna wear tonight, right next door. While they're waiting for their cut, they go next door.
Staying true to the streets that raised him, this local figure is reaching out to his community, giving jobs to many young Latinos in the neighborhood.
All the barbers from here, these guys from the neighborhood. They keep them working, keep them right here, right at home. Somewhere where we all keep an eye on each other, help each other out.
Right, that's good. So you're always looking out for the community. You always got to bring back to the people that brought you here, made you successful.
Never forget where you come from.
Designed to keep cool in the sweltering heat, guayaberas are the quintessential Latino male shirt. Commonly worn by old-timers, this traditional style has become increasingly popular among younger generations.
I've always been into the Latin style, you know, going back to the 50s and 60s, especially like Ricky Ricardo, you know, and Lucy and stuff like that. I just have a passion for old style fashion.
I've been forced by my wife to wear them, you know, because I married a Puerto Rican, you know, being a foreigner, so it's a good thing, you know, I'm trying to blend in with the culture.
It helps me get in touch with my roots because it's representative of Cuba, plus my mom likes to see me wear it.
It makes me feel like I'm part of my heritage, something like my grandfather used to wear.
I'm here in Union City, New Jersey at El Guaralú, and if you're looking for a guayabera, this is the place to find them. Now we're here with Victor at El Guaralú. Now Victor, tell us a little bit about the guayaberas. Where does it come from? Is it a Cuban thing?
Well, if you ask a Cuban, it's Cuban. If you ask Mexicans, it's from Mexico. Cubans say the guayaberas were used for picking guavas, put them in the pockets. Others say it was used to cut sugarcane as a uniform. You wore guayabera and a machete to cut down the sugarcane.
Now, if you want to come buy guayaberas, what do I look for?
The classic is a 4-pocket pleated, like you see here. This is poly cotton. You can wear it like this, spread collar. This is linen, a regular collar. And the true guayabera has 3 pleats in the back.
Now, who are your customers? Do you have young people? Do you have older people? Is it just Latinos?
No, we've been getting a nice mix. It used to be an older Latino customer. Now it's younger Latino, Americans, everybody across the spectrum.
And these unique tops are no longer just for men. Viva la Guayabera in Miami, Florida is a store that specializes in guayaberas for women. I'm here with Victoria Varela, and before we even get into anything, Victoria, how did you get into this business of making guayaberas?
Well, I found that there weren't any attractive ladies' dresses in the guayabera tradition. Guayaberas are very male-oriented, and I wanted to make something feminine, pleasing to the figure and to the aesthetic for women.
This one-of-a-kind store also sells baby clothes, t-shirts, even aprons, all in the guayabera tradition. I'm Lagazi Rodriguez. Eat your heart out, arroz con pollo style. Putting a new take on a timeless classic, guayaberas are a Latin tradition that will never go out of style. For Ruperto Vanderpool, life is one big joke.
Hey, también. For the Latinos, you know, Spanish, huh? White folks are looking, holy shit, they come in black.
You know, it doesn't come overnight. People think that I just woke up out of my bed and became funny. Yeah, I was a class clown, but to make your friends laugh and make people that don't know you laugh, It's two different elements.
Ruperto is a rising young Dominican comic and one of the few Latin stand-up comedians working today. He's appeared in comedy clubs across America and has also been featured on his Showtime at the Apollo, BET's Comic View, and on Galavision's Que Locos. Like many young comedians, he got his start working at local comedy clubs, performing at open mic nights.
To be like 30, 40 comics waiting online. And you have to pay to get stage time, you know? It was no audience. So you had like 3 to 5 minutes of stage time to try to work your craft. I would always throw my Spanish jokes, not understanding why people didn't get it at first. Sooner or later, I learned how to transition that to cross over.
Puerto Ricans are the only legal Latinos. You didn't know that, right? Yeah. Look, they proud. Yeah, come and go as they please. We gotta try to sneak into the country. We're gonna go sneak into America. Let's go, Papa. Let's swimming over there, no problem. Let's go, Elian. Get off my back, Elian.
Actually, when I first started doing comedy, I caught this show, The Freddie Prinze Story. Can You Hear the Laughter? Was the name of the movie. I felt an attachment, like, whoa, how he did humor about being Puerto Rican. It like motivated me to continue to do what I'm doing now.
Remember Zalia Cruz? She still look the same way, right? 50 years later, she's still the same way. She's like 1,002. Azúcar! Azúcar! She danced with Jesus back in the day.
The most thing I do when I'm on stage as a Latino comedian, I address the fact that I am Latino, and I also try to do educate in a sense through my humor.
Dominicans always are Platanos, right? Those who don't know what Platanos are plantains, bananas, come green, yellow, black.
Non-Latinos, they can relate in the sense of how, whoa, they enjoy my story because based on how I lived or what can I bring on stage because it's my pain and it's all honesty because comedy is being real.
I get home, my mother used to make everything out of this, bro. Halloween came, she made costume out of the Plátano. I said, a nice heavy-duty costume for you, Papa. Ustedes are gonna be the Plátano Rangers. Put my suit on, go, go, Plátano Ranger. Dominican boy, Plátano Ranger.
I write what I know. Like what I've lived, what I've been through. Like my comedy comes from my everyday experience of life.
Ruperto's act also features a number of zany, off-the-wall characters, including Chucho, an enthusiastic Spanish dancer with some crazy moves all his own.
Hola, babies. I'm the Latino lover, Chucho, Chocolate.
I saw this that I came on the right time. I'm doing what I'm doing. A lot of other Latinos have been in the game way longer, that they didn't get their break. But I think now we have like a bigger edge, knowing that our demographics are so big. Just keep growing, man. I'm just waiting for that big starring role for the Latino Dominican Project.
Yo, thank you for having me, Ruperto Vanderpool.
Yo Soy Latina started out as an angry monologue before evolving into a major hit play.
I want to see my olive skin gracing the covers of Vogue and Elle magazine. I want to see my arroz con pollo thighs on the cover of a Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue.
In 1997, I wrote this monologue about this very angry Latina named Lisette Davila Rivera. And through that character, I was able to say everything that I had ever felt about being Latina. I decided to post it on the internet. I had received hundreds of emails within a year from Latinas across the country telling me how inspired they were by that piece. And after hearing that, I felt I needed to dig a little deeper. So I decided to write a play about it.
I'm going to turn the whole world on to being Latino.
Yo Soy Latina is about 6 racially and culturally diverse Latinas who get together to meet at a What is a Latina seminar. But the facilitator never arrives and they wind up having to answer this question on their own.
My character is Maria Elena Gonzalez, and she's from Panama. She goes through living in here. People assuming she's Black American when she's really Latina.
I could be mestiza warrior princess.
My character is Soledad. She's from the Dominican Republic, and she's the older character that just decided to leave her husband after many, many years of being in this relationship where he was a machista, didn't let her, live life the way she wanted to.
The women share stories and voice their opinions on a variety of topics, ranging from men and relationships to more serious race and identity issues.
To me, that is
the biggest thing in the piece is finding out who you really are. What does that mean? Is it okay for me to be Latina and not speak Spanish, or like rock music, or not like salsa?
I consider myself a Chicana because the word Hispanic really irks me.
For me, it was really a strong piece about identity, who we are as people.
Latino, Hispanic, Mexican, Chicano, New Rican, Puerto Rican, it's all the same.
Yo Soy Latina has been delivering its powerful message to college campuses across America.
What I've heard is that, my God, I have felt this way. I have wanted to say that. I've been thinking this way all along, but they were afraid to put it out there. Also, the play is very funny. Where else have you seen 6 Latinas together that are so positive, that are so beautiful? They're having a good time. They're sharing their lives with you. What I get, it's about time. Yo soy Latina. I'm proud of it, baby.
To find out more about Yo Soy Latina, just log on to latinoflavored.com.
While Latino radio DJs were once confined to Spanish radio, today there is an increasing number finding their way to commercial stations at major markets nationwide.
I grew up listening to Zeta. I was always a little rock girl.
Apart from being a Latina on an English-language rock station, Nicole is also helping weave an element of Latin culture with her popular Rock en Español show, En Fuego.
We play Genitalica, Soda Stereo, we play Maná, we play even Charlie Garcia. And we're doing 2 hours now. The response has been so incredible. So they're talking about most definitely extending it to 4 hours. There's a lot of young people like me who like rock, who speak Spanish and English. I'm mainly targeting them.
My goal has always been to play good music. I like when I go to a club and somebody goes, yo, you played that thing, killed it. I give my stories of what I do as a young Latino Cuban in LA, being a disc jockey on the radio, and bring them to the radio. You know, I'll say whatever comes to my mind, and sometimes like my boss will walk by and be like, yo, you're crazy. And every day I give part of my life to my listeners.
It's their uniqueness and originality, not to mention their inherent Latino pride, which has allowed these DJs to flourish.
I'm so proud to be a Latina in rock radio. I think we can use our heritage and our flavor, if you will, to our advantage.
If I can make somebody laugh and have them, you know, bob their head in their car, then my job is done.
Cucaracha started as a series of LA Weekly editorial cartoons. Today, the controversial strip appears in nearly 40 newspapers nationwide and is the first syndicated Latino-themed political cartoon in the country. LA-based cartoonist Lalo Alcaraz is the strip's creator.
I started drawing for the LA Weekly about 10 years ago, doing angry Chicano editorial cartoons. People ask me, why La Cucaracha? And, you know, the cucaracha is it's a Mexican icon, you know, and it's part of the popular culture of Mexico, you know, the song and all that. But it also kind of represents, you know, being who you are, you know, and not being ashamed of who you are, you know, even if you're a cucaracha, you know. I made the characters specifically Chicanos, you know, they are 4 friends that live in a barrio in East LA, but the stereotypes end there. It's mostly about these young people and how they cope with their, you know, dual culture, you know, which all Latinos, I think, have to deal with that.
Lalo is also the co-founder of Pocho.com, a satirical online magazine that, much like La Cucaracha, explores Latino identity with biting wit and sarcasm, though not everyone appreciates the site's particular brand of humor.
We combine that kind of like, you know, barrio humor with that American sense of irony and satire to make this like goofy kind of Mad Magazine style thing, and people flip out, man. Before the internet, people used to send me hate mail like written in crayon, badly spelled, like go back to Mexico, wet back, you know, and now they type it, you know, and they like they'll call me an idiot, but they don't know how to spell idiot, you know, so it's pretty funny.
Lalo makes no apologies, viewing his work as an important tool for voicing Latino concerns.
I hope it has like an air of authenticity as far as, you know, showing real problems that we have to deal with as young urban Latinos.
Toque Profundo is not your typical Dominican band.
The kind of music that Toque Profundo does is mainly rock. Throughout the years, we evolved in a lot of different elements that spice up our music.
Typical music is merengue and bachata, but you grew up with that music around you, but we don't feel that kind of music.
Merengue, I like it because it's part of my culture. Rock found us in a way. It was not that we choose like let's do this, let's just be rebels or whatever. It just happened.
The LA-based group Go Betty Go are something of rebels themselves as a group of Latinas playing punk music.
We're a punk band, you know, just like lots of energy, just straight in your face and just lots of fun. We play bilingual songs. That, I guess, makes us stand out more because people are like, wow, you know, they're singing in Spanish. And then all of a sudden we'll sing in English. But I think the Latino population is very proud that like we're 4 girls like rocking out playing punk, and it's never really been seen.
Though the music industry is often not so accepting.
Big corporation companies behind the music prefer to put money on merengues or bachata bands, you know. Nobody have a record label there. We have to make everything alone.
You have to be a manager, you have to be a sound guy, you have to be a graphics designer, you have to be everything. And that takes a lot of the whole creativity that you might enjoy as an artist.
Despite the challenges, these indie bands are determined to keep on rocking.
I think we're very different from everything that's out there. And we do what we do because we're good at it, you know? I mean, I know we're not the greatest band in the world, but you know, like we have fun doing what we do. People just get excited to see us.
If you want to start a band, go for it, you know, it's totally possible.
And don't be discouraged. I mean, a lot of times people, especially at the very beginning, they looked at us and it was kind of like they underestimated us just because we were girls.
They say, you know, usually the music scene is dominated by men, but why should it be? You know, it should be fine for us to go in there and do it.
Dancing Latino cowboys, macho busboys, even an East LA beauty queen. They're just some of the wacky characters that make up the world of Latinologues, a hit comedy play written and created by famed LA writer Rick Najera.
Latinologues is monologues on the experience of Latinos in the United States. There's 37 million Latinos in the United States, and this is maybe 50 of the stories of them. Comical, surreal, and poignant, and hard to define, just like we as Latinos are.
I am el macho. I'm also your bus boys. If I can get you people anything, you let me know.
What prompted me to write was the lack of Latinos I saw in mainstream media. We're proud of who we are, and that's what the show is about, and celebrates our diversity and culture as Latinos.
The show pokes fun at stereotypes and serves as a showcase for Latino talent, with a rotating cast that performs monologues from a collection of over 50 characters.
We've had over 70 actors in the show, from Edward James Olmos to Jacob Vargas and Renee Lavon, and incredible actors along with people that are totally unknown, but incredible talents.
I've done all of them. I've done Alejandro, I've done Fidel, the border crosser from northern Mexico.
Come on, Fidel, how could you not remember Elian?
I do also Elian Gonzalez's father, which is a phone call to Fidel Castro, the little kid Elian, his father, and Fidel has no idea who Elian is anymore, and kind of a little bit of a criticism on Cuba and on the media in general.
Listen, Fidel, you did promise us some things if we came back to Cuba, you know? Yes, hold on. Cállate la boca, Elian.
I also act in Latinologues. I play a Buford Gomez, a right-wing Border Patrol officer who believes there's a right way and a wrong way to immigrate.
I put the panic to the Hispanic.
What's great about this work and Rick's work in general is that, you know, it's general comedy that anyone can understand. It's everyday situations. And within that, in that comedy, there is the message. You're laughing, but you're also making people think.
The show has been performing to sold-out crowds across the country, delighting audiences wherever it plays.
The overall response among Latinos, off the roof. They love it. They feel it's their story. Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Argentinians, everyone who sees the Mexicans love it. It's really been a source of pride for a lot of people.
Yo, what up, Sarah Kubici right here from 100.3 The Beat in Los Angeles. Y'all gonna be hanging out with me all day long. Gonna show you some kicks, gonna show you some clothing, some throwbacks, take your record store shopping, And at night, of course, we're gonna take you to the club because that's what I do best. So let's go check out my boy's shop real quick. Let me see what I get. All right, so this is our first stop right here, the Hip Hop Connection. Gonna check out my boy Ali right here on the Xbox. This is the owner right here. He's more Cuban than me.
Oye, ¿cómo está?
Sometimes when you're on the radio, the dress code goes out the window. You know what I'm saying? Woo! The Bryant. This is the Bryant. Wow.
This is what we call really throwing back all the way down. So he's really throwing it back. He's got a 5'8" jersey on. Got the Michael Jordan.
See, now we're official. Look at it. I got time, I got Aaron looking good. Dress code, no problem. Got Scarface. Let's go to the shoe section. This is the Air Force One room. This is where I walk in. You gotta have the secret knock. Let me show you the secret knock. When you come to the Air, this is the Air Force One room. When you come in here, you gotta give them the old, and you gotta wait for the knock back. They know it's me already, see?
Ready from the
Thank you. Gotta go. Talk to you later. That's how it goes down. Now we're at the G spot. Come to these little moms and pops joints, my boy's spot. This is where you come get the real street, ill stuff right here. Come on, I'm gonna show you some records right now. So you gotta pick up some Jurassic 5, some LA stuff right here. This is some classic LA music right here. MC8, of course, E40. A lot of West Coast stuff going on. Gotta have Pac. You ain't got Pac and the Outlaws in your crate and you on LA, then you're doing something real wrong over here. Now, one of the things I do, when you're on the radio, you gotta do personal appearances, right? So we're at my boy's shop right here, Genesis Motorsports, City of Long Beach. Y'all want R. Kelly passes? She want R. Kelly passes. Well, people, what they do, they come, they sign up, and we do raffles, and we do funny stuff, and they win R. Kelly prizes, or they win, like, you could win a hair salon and get your hair did. Y'all need your hair did. Well, no. Just got off work, time to go hit the club scene. This is the nightlife in Los Angeles. I'm gonna show you what it's all about. Let's go.
With his skills on the turntables, undeniable charisma, and his keen sense of what's hot in the city of LA, it's easy to see why Eric Cubiche is so popular with the LA crowd.
Locos por Juana is one of the leading bands in Miami's growing Latin alternative music scene, drawing from vast Latin influences that include Venezuela, Colombia, and Puerto Rico to generate a sound as distinctive as their name.
Juan is like a regular type of Latin name, you know, Juana. It's that girl that kind of represents our culture, you know, that dances, that looks really good. We like to write music the way we talk, the way we hang out on the street, you know, it's that street flavor because it's real, you know. Basically, what we wanted to do was experiment with music. What we do is like we grab everything from each country and we make our own sound. I think that all the elements that we use are urban elements, you know, mix it all. I don't know, we've had an angel by our side since day one. We have a lot of positive things that we've done. We got to go to Puerto Rico. We had a whole tour in Europe. I think the key of everything is doing it by heart, you know, and keeping it real. If you only care about what you're selling and, you know, mass production, then you're forgetting about art and the essence of music for real, you know, and we're trying to bring that back.
Hey, I'm Henry.
And I'm Ringo.
And I'm JoJo.
And we're Los Lonely Boys.
You could say those Lonely Boys are a chip off the old block. This talented young trio of brothers from West Texas are generating much excitement over their inspired, guitar-driven sound, which they say they learned from watching their dad.
Growing up in Texas, we were surrounded by music constantly. Our dad played music with his brothers. Our uncles played music, our great-grandfathers. When we were born, it was kind of born into it. It was like our second nature, you know. Our dad started teaching us, and we were influenced by our dad greatly. And we're basically just doing what Daddy taught us to do.
Doesn't matter how far I go, doesn't matter how long I stay.
Decided to fuse it together, everything that we've learned from the conjunto music, from the cumbias, from the rancheras, to the rock and roll, to the blues.
You know, the Beatles, Chuck Berry, Richie Valens, you know, Willie and Waylon.
That's where we influenced that, where music came from. We try to bring it back, and at the same time, put our own stamp.
Yeah, put our own stuff to it.
Henry's impressive playing has drawn comparisons to guitar greats Stevie Ray Vaughan and Carlos Santana, which have only helped add to the band's appeal.
When we're all up there on stage, when I'm up there on stage, I just go and try to get into the zone. En un lugar que I don't even know where I'm at. I'm in a lonely place, being a lonely boy.
Dream come true.
To us, it's not about being the biggest or baddest or biggest hits or magazines or this and that. It's all about being three carnales from San Angelo, Texas.
Letting the world hear our music.
Doing what their daddy taught them, and we love to do it. If we never became nothing, or if we never had gotten this interviews or anything, you know,
we'd still be at your local cantina playing a song.
'Cause I know there's a better place than this place I'm living.
Soniko is a hot Miami band generating a strong underground buzz with their distinctive alternative sound. Though the group's roots are in Venezuela and Peru, they admit their musical influences are more mainstream.
Listen to the same stuff, grunge, Britpop, alternative, so we all got together to this project now.
You know, there was the word Soniko. It's a word we made up, you know, in my dreams. And it relates a lot with music, with frequency, with something that we really want to transmit.
Yeah, our music is not like you can say it sounds Latin music, because it's not. It's just a weird mix between everything. Sounds cool.
Located in Miami, it's pretty weird to find a band that plays like Latin alternative, like pure rock, with
a weird mix.
Four guys, guitar, drums, bass, and vocals. Because you know, Miami, it's more like a tropical.
There are a few rock fans here that you can find, and they go to the shows, they support, they buy the CDs.
The band has also found support from LaMusica.com, an online Latin music magazine that's helping spread the word on Soniko.
LaMusica.com put a project together called Rock Band en la Mira, where they're gonna follow the band for 6 months. Kind of like a reality show, but pretty much on internet. La Música trusts in our music, and they love it. And they just wanna help us move on.
Everything that comes that is good for the band, we receive it with open arms, you know. If we get a Grammy someday, that'll be great. If we don't, that'll be great too. Right now we're good, so we gotta go step by step, you know.
After several unsuccessful attempts to break into the American hip-hop market, Cuban rapper Don Dinero made his way from Washington Heights, New York, to Miami, only to have his dreams crushed yet again.
I came out to Miami the first time and dropped in English, but little did we know, nobody cared about Latinos trying to do English in the industry. You feel me? What are we going to do with that?
Bonding with Cuban Link and his crew, the Terror Squad, Don Dinero learned the ins and outs of the music business and realized what Latino rappers were doing wrong.
For a long time, Latinos, we've been trying to rap to the wrong market. We haven't been spitting rhymes to us, to ourselves. We've been trying to compete with the African Americans lyrically and everything else. When Pump passed away, so when I said, you know, I'm not going to be a shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know, I'm going to give this a shot, and I'm going to take the Spanish route. What I rhyme about is about the Latino struggle here on the street. And I'm not only talking about the guy who's on the corner pump, I'm talking about the guy that gets up every morning to get $5 an hour at the factory, the 12 Mexicans out in the apartment, the 8 Cubans that just came off the boat yesterday. That's the street to me.
In 2001, he moved his whole family to Miami, Florida, and began recording his first Spanish album. The single Pana Pana received major radio airplay in Miami and became a huge hit, sending his career soaring.
I went back to the studio with my man Domingo, and I knocked out Pana Pana. So I went to Salsa 98, and they played it one time, and here we are, man. We're selling more records every day. We're selling in 48 states, never been done before.
Don Don not only releases, markets, and promotes his own album, but also helps develop other Latin artists through his independent label, Cuban Connection.
Majority of people in my label are Latinos, because if I don't help my own people, obviously no one else is.
Yo te llamo ahorita, mami, ya no jodas más. Y búscate a otro que te saque a bailar. Yo no mantengo a nadie, ponte a trabajar. Tengo muchas mujeres que le gustan sin.
In 3 years, we would dominate English, Spanish, the entire market. I guarantee you. So if they continue to support me and I continue to sell records, guess what? The next Latino a year from now might get a $500,000 budget in Spanish and get the $2-3 million he deserves in English. I'm taking the stairs so they can take the elevator.
Y ten cuidado el que se meta con ese cubano. Si sos rico en la bolita con los italianos, barbería en los barrios de los americanos. Van el viejo mío Tony Montana, su bandera tapa la gran manzana.
David Ortiz is one of the country's top Latino senseis. He started doing security at high-profile events, and today he trains law enforcement officers in the city of Los Angeles. It was a martial arts movie that made David realize that this is what he wanted to do professionally.
But who actually got me into the martial arts was a movie called Billy Jack, and the style that they used there was a Korean form called Hapkido, and that just inspired me. I just thought that was the coolest thing. I've got black belts in 5 different arts at this point. 2 of them are Korean, Taekwondo and Hapkido, and the other are in Filipino martial arts. I started off years ago working for private individuals and companies. I worked at the Democratic National Convention here in 2000 and was actually showing some Secret Service guys some moves. I've worked everything from the Oscars to Ozzy Motley concerts to the Latin Grammys.
In addition to security, David instructs officers on techniques to help restrain suspects without injury.
Our law enforcement, though, they can't go out there and just be punching and kicking people. There'll be lawsuits all over the place. So what they like to do is more of the arrest and control techniques, where you're going into locking situations, being able to control the person through pain, not injury. We might have to strike a little bit to disorient the person, but then we get into a fight-ending situation where we have control through joint locks.
David Ortiz practices many art forms, but specializes in Taekwondo and Filipino martial arts.
The Taekwondo, you know, is primarily kicking and punching. Hapkido is basically Korean Jiu-Jitsu, so it's a lot of joint locks and chokes and throws and what have you. And the Filipino arts start off with your weapons. You're dealing with sticks and knives, different sorts of variations of those things. It goes into choking with the stick and then the empty hand work and what have you. So all the arts together kind of blend to complement each other.
David also teaches classes offering self-defense techniques, great workout sessions, or just a fun way to exercise.
There's a few reasons why people actually start to study the martial arts. Some of it is just for getting in shape. Some is for an activity to do, a sense of accomplishment, because there are belt rankings in it. Some people do it for competitions. There are competitions internationally. Self-defense, it runs the gamut. In my class, you'll find people from 12 years old up to 60, and there's something for everybody.